With my very own eyes, I watched angels working their magic on this beautiful island. Although it is a paradise, there are small pockets of sheer hell here and there, like most everywhere else. Suddenly, we went from tropical vacation to the front lines of a war. My wife Tracy and I found these angels at the top of Gags Hill, waging a battle of immense proportions. There was bloodshed and the saving of lives. I speak of the Good Samaritans with the Hope Sanctuary Foundation. Much like a scene from ER or MASH, we stepped inside the Hope Martin neuter bus, a mobile operating room. We watched veterinarians and assistants working on an average of 10 dogs a day, 5 days a week. These are pets that need to be neutered or spayed. Some come from decent homes, but many come in malnourished and beaten. Some dogs we viewed were so emaciated that I couldn't help but break down in tears. Now, mind you, I'm fairly vulnerable right now, having just lost one of my best friends, Hank, a 13-year-old Jack Russell Terrier, to liver cancer. I videotaped the surgical scene in high definition, as that is one of my occupations back in Canada. As long as I looked through the camera, I could keep my composure. So on these doctor soldiers labored as I taped. Dogs were picked up from various homes, perhaps too kind a word in some situations, spayed, neutered, dewormed, de-ticked, de-lice, given vitamins, had their nails trimmed, wounds attended to, their ears cleaned, and on and on. I was stunned at the professionalism, care, and love these vets and volunteers displayed. Watching Cornelia, who is the founder, in action was akin to seeing Florence Nightingale. Upon returning several dogs to their owners, one poor little fella just broke my heart completely. There he was, retied on a 4-foot rope with no water, food, or cover. He was at least 10 pounds shy of his full weight, and he reminded me of one of those pictures of the prisoners of war from World War II. He was literally just a rack of bones with skin hanging off him. Despite all the hardships, battle scars, and indignities unleashed on this poor living creature, he somehow found the strength to wag his tail as I approached. Words cannot describe the horror this little fellow was undergoing. I was surprised the owner actually allowed us to videotape, as there were dogs, sometimes 3 to a tiny little cage, and animals suffering everywhere I turned. So moved was I, that night as I tossed and turned, thinking about him and the Hope Sanctuary, I vowed that I would somehow rescue him. 24 hours later, as I write this, he lays beside me, fed, bathed, and content. He has a long way to go as we slowly nourish him back to health physically and emotionally. So spent is he that barking is beyond his strength. Although I promised myself to never again get so close to a pet, this guy has somehow found his way into my heart with his gentle, forgiving eyes and playful demeanor. We are now going through the paperwork of getting him shipped to our ranch in Canada, but that is not yet a given. He needs to gain his weight back before he's allowed to fly, plus pass the required physical tests. What astounds me the most is this: Barbados is beautiful, but it is the people of this country that draw me back every year with their smiles, sense of humor, and kindness to strangers such as myself. Surely the percentage of people who treat animals so brutally is tiny compared to the compassion of the general population. Over the 20 years I have visited Barbados, I have learned to love and respect her many qualities. One would hope that the good people here will help the folks at the Hope Sanctuary to defeat this blight on what is otherwise one of the world's finest destinations. In closing, I really must thank Jacqueline, Cornelia, and Dominique from the Hope team. Cornelia works 5 days a week in stifling heat, ferrying dogs from homes to the bus and back, plus Saturdays at the sanctuary, where she works tirelessly to find foster or adoptive homes for abandoned and sick animals. Although linked to their work, the Hope Martin Neuter Bus and Hope Sanctuary are separate entities. Cornelia and the Hope team rely on donations of money or food, fostering homes and adoptive homes, plus volunteers. This foundation works to educate and provide food and parasite treatments to all the dogs on the island. God bless each and every one of these angels.
Barbados, the Granby Adams International Airport, and Jack is on his way to Canada. It's his first trip ever, and he didn't look like this about a week and a half ago.
Well, a month has passed, and Jack is fitting into his new home in Canada quite nicely. Not to mention he's put on 10 pounds. Check this out for a before and after shot. He enjoys being a part of the pack here with all his buddies and 84 acres to roam on. His personality is coming out in new ways every day, but he's probably one of the most loving and gentle souls I've ever met. He should be a monster considering his earlier predicament, but he's forgiven and moved on. If you can, please take a look at their website and see these people's incredible work. Help them out if you can, plus it's good karma. I did, and I got quite a gift of love when I really needed one. I mean, I only helped out for a couple of days, and I've got a buddy Jack here for life.
www.thehopesanctuary.com. Go to our website and have a look and just see what's going on here in Barbados.